Hi everyone, I'm Lavanya here. Hi everyone. So, I hope you are having a great week and also having great time with your loved ones. So, here I'm going to show you all this very beautiful video. Okay, my YouTube channel, a little bit about this channel. Okay, so this is my YouTube channel's name. As you know, it's Crazy Geek. A little bit about what is this YouTube channel all about. If you are new subscribers, okay. So I just want to share with you all this Crazy Geek's main purpose is to educate and also tell how the accountings, audit, and taxation that you study in your school or in your college, especially in college, how is this really you're going to apply in your work? Because I personally feel these theories need to be applied correctly. If not, it will just be a zero knowledge. So how are you going to apply all those things that you study? And also I'm going to show you what exactly you use in your work, because not all that you study are going to use in your work. So this is what I am going to show you. But make sure you see my first content YouTube video, and also the second one too. The first one was about overview of this channel. You'll get a better picture. And the second video is about the accounting entries with softwares part 1. So I have actually told about the entries and also what are the softwares that we use in small and medium-sized enterprises. Please do make sure that I am focusing on SMEs, not listed companies. Okay, small and medium-sized enterprises. So what are the softwares they normally use? So let's get started to the main agenda. So today I'm going to emphasize on the one of the software that is been very useful for many of us. It is Myob. Okay, maybe software, accounting software. There are actually many versions of this accounting software, so you can get it free trial. I'll show you where to get this free trial. As you can see, this is the one. Just wait for a moment. Okay, this is the one. So this is the link. I will put this link in the video itself. At the bottom of the video, I'll just put this link. You can go into this link and you can see there is this 3 things you can get for the account right premium, where you can manage 2 company accounts. This is just for your understanding, but if you're really opening up a company, or are you want to learn more about accounting, it will be very useful. So you can try it for free, and then you just need to key in all the details. So that's all. So now I'm going to go into the Myob accounting software, which I am using now at my work. So this is exactly what I use during my work. So what we are going to concentrate here is actually the entries, the double entries, and how is this being used in the accounting software, because in accounting software you don't exactly see how the entry works. So I am here to guide from my experience on how I make it fun. So this is actually going to be very fun learning. So please do ask any questions if you want to know more about this software or how these entries actually work, because I'm not going to do everything in one video. So I'm going to focus on bank, trade receivables, or also known as debtors, and then trade payables, or also known as suppliers. So I'm only going to focus on these three things. How are you going to enter in this software? So first thing first, I have actually created this company name. So this company name is Crazy Geeks Remember Heart. So you can create any company name that you want, but I'm not going to show you how to create a company file and everything like that. That one you can go into the website that I showed just now. There is a training, so they will show you step by step how to create a company. That's not a big deal. But the thing is, here our focus is to understand what is the entries and how is this actually being done in the software itself. So first thing, I'm going to show you how what to start first when you have a small and medium size company SME. So first thing, we will ask the client for the bank statement, because many times clients misplace their supporting documents, especially for the backlog accounting. Backlog here meaning like now it's 2020 and we are doing accounts for 2017-16, so it's a really backlog accounts. So this kind of backlog accounts, when you do, many times the client doesn't have the supporting documents. Not, I won't say they don't have at all, but they have limited. So what we will do is we are going to show the bank statement. So the bank statement would be our biggest source of document here. So document bank statement is this. So this is an example that I actually got it from. So sorry for the disturbance. It's okay. So here I am going to take a sample from a Maybank. So you can see it's a Maybank, and this one is, I took it from Google, so this is not a real one. So this would be your company's name here, and then the statement month, which statement, and then the number. Okay, the account number. So this is important. What I'll do when I create the account, I will actually show this last four-digit number. So this last four-digit number will be in my accounts. So you can see here now my bank register. This is the account number, right? Okay. So here I am going to show you how we are actually putting the accounting entries. Okay. So here, let me go back to here. Okay, here you can see it is plus sign, it's a debit. Plus sign here meaning it's a debit, credit meaning to be a negative sign there. So here, but different statements work differently. For Maybank, this is how they present their statement. For CIMB, it's a different presentation, and for different bank statements, there is different presentations. So this is it. Okay, we shall go to the accounting software on how we are going to enter this. So you are in this interface called banking. Okay, so for example, just now was receive money, right? Because there was a plus sign, meaning here we are going to debit in the bank. So debit in the bank, make sure you choose the correct account. So this is the Maybank account. And then this is up to you if your company wants to put the ID number, but normally this is a tracking number. So we will put the tracking number here. Then here is the date. So for example, this one I just put today's date, and then payer or who actually paid to you, and then amount received. So for example, this one is the date. And then payment method is also up to you. It's an option. So how do you actually, how the person paid? And here is the description that you want to write here. So maybe I'll just put here as dividend. Okay. So here account, this is interesting. This is where you will see the double entry. Here we debited and here we are going to credit. So credit mostly will be income or equity. So I choose fee income and then this is it, then you record it. Okay, so you have recorded the money coming into your bank account. Now we are going to see the double entry for the money out. Okay, spend money. So spend money here is the same thing, but it's the reverse entry. So you credit bank, you debit expenses or the cost of sales. So this is the date, and then you put here maybe 100, and then the description maybe you put as you're paying for bank charges. Okay. And then here I am going to choose. So this would be the debit account of this transaction. So this is very important. This is how you understand this. So you need to understand this. So here you debit, here you credit. So this is record. Okay, done. Okay, so this is one of the transaction for the bank. Okay, this is a very, very simple one. But always remember, whenever you do a transaction, understand what is the transaction and then see what is the double entry for the transaction. So here what I do go, okay, for here, every time when you do a month, 1 month transaction based on the bank statement, what you can always do to check yourself whether you have done it correctly or not, you go to your general ledger. How do you go to general ledger? This one works differently in different systems. So for Myob, you need to go to the report, click here and then go into the account, go into general ledger detail. Okay, now I am going to see selected accounts only, not all accounts, because just now we did for bank. Okay, I choose this one and then and up to the expenses bank charges. So this is it, and then I just put here January up to today's date. So I untick this one. Why I untick? Very important here. Include accounts with no activity, because if you don't untick, then all the accounts with zero balance will come out. So you need to untick that one. Now you display. So here you can very clearly see. Okay, just now I did another transaction, so I have double transaction here. Just ignore that. So this is the thing just now we did. When you pay, you credit, and then you debit bank charges here 100 ringgit. Here you debit your bank 30 and then here you credit your income. So very important to remember normally where to debit, where to credit, and why it is debit, why it is credit. Okay, money in, money out from the bank, but how do you put in a software? This is how you check. Okay, so this is done for the bank. Second thing, we are going to go into the sales. Okay, here you need to be very careful. Sales. When the sales can be divided into two. One is cash sales, another one is credit sales. I'm going to talk about credit sales because cash sales is very easy. It's just as simple as you debit your bank, you credit sales. But if it is a credit sales, how do you do that? So you enter sales. The moment, for example, you have a company that does consulting for other companies. So you send invoice to your customers. The moment you send the invoice, you will enter the sales. So here you need to create a customer. So if I create a customer name YNG Cedar Berhad. Okay, so you create this one and then now you use this customer. So you put the invoice number here, the date, and if you have a PO, purchase order, then you put here. So description is also up to you. Maybe you put say consulting for 20 people. Okay, so consulting for 20 people and the account here. This is thing. Okay. Now, what are you actually doing? You need to remember this. You are now debiting the trade receivable, okay, the name. That is why it is very important to mention who is the customer, okay, because then you can see which customer you have invoiced. Very important. You just don't do a general trade receivables, okay. I know when we study, we just simply say trade receivables or trade debtors, but this is not how it works in the software, right? Because trade receivable or trade debtor is very general. You need to know what is the name of the trade receivable, because then you can track how many invoices you have sent to them and how many have they paid, how many they are actually owing to us. This is the important key areas. So you debit the trade receivables, you credit the sales. So now you find your sales here. So you same thing. I didn't create a consulting, so I just take maybe this miscellaneous income. Okay, this is it. Now you need to go to the amount. Maybe this one is 3,000. So that's all. That is all you need. So now you record. But before recording, please remember what is the double entry here. Here you can't see the double entry. It is all hidden. That is why you can't see. So here you are debiting the customer. Okay, remember, debiting this customer and you're crediting this account called just now miscellaneous income. Okay, so you record this. So this is how you record when you send an invoice to a customer. But how about that customer paid the amount? Okay, so for example, this customer already paid on the same day itself, surprisingly. So you just key in the customer that you want, and then the ID, the invoice number, and then the date, amount received. So I'm just going to put here 1,500, for example. So meaning they only paid partial. So they paid partial because full is very easy. Partial is how I will show you what will happen if it's partial. So 1,500. Okay, so what do you do? Here you need to remember this invoice, if the status is open, meaning they haven't paid yet. And this is the date of the invoice that we key in just now and the amount. Okay, total due is 3,000, but only they paid 1,500, meaning you can see this figure in your bank. Okay, see, this is interesting too. How did you get this 1,500? Is from the bank statement that I showed you earlier. You can see on the same day, money is coming in. Okay, money is coming in and it shows 1,500, and who paid is this customer. So this interface, when you see receive payment, deposit to account, isn't this similar to the previous one when we did bank? Because in that bank interface also, when you come into money in, this is how the interface is. So now you deposit to your account and then you debit the bank here, you credit those receivables. Okay, you credit receivables because they already paid off. Okay, so this is it. Now I will show you how this is shown in the general ledger. Accounts, same thing, general ledger. So this is it, display. Okay, now you can see an extra one. So just focus on the Maybank trade debtors and the sales. Okay, so just now, first thing first, we actually entered the invoice, right? So when we entered the invoice, our trade debtors here increases 3,000, and then our income, the income increases here, so we credit 3,000. So you can see it's the same amount. And then later we have actually paid, right? When we paid, how much did we pay? We only paid partial, not full. So you credit the debtors, you debit the bank. Can you see the link? Okay, why am I showing this? You can see this is a general ledger trade debtors. You can see now the balance is 1,500. So you can know exactly how much this customer owes to you. Okay, I am not going to show you how the aging report is for the receivables because that one will be another interesting topic. It will take longer time. So I just stop with this. But if you have any questions for me to go further on, you can comment in the video below so I can actually go through the transaction that you want me to share with you. So I close this. I close these two. Now we go to purchases. Okay, purchases here meaning also same thing as how we did the sales. Purchases can be cash purchases and credit purchases. So purchases, if it's cash, it's very simple. You debit your purchases, you credit your bank. But if it's credit purchases, okay, if it's credit purchases, then you need to create trade payables or suppliers. So enter the purchase the moment you receive invoice from your supplier. Okay, for example, if you're a manufacturing company, you receive the invoice from the supplier, you enter the purchase. So the supplier name, I didn't create anything, so I'm going to create here now. So the supplier name is maybe Vinny and Co. Vinny and Co. So this is it. I just create this. Now I'm going to use this supplier Vinny and Co. The purchase meaning the invoice number and the date. Sorry, this purchase is the ID running number for this particular account, and then the date and the supplier invoice. So here the description would be it will be stated in the invoice. So you just put something like purchase of 20 steel materials. Okay, and then the account. Okay, this is important. So you can see okay, you need to create any of the purchase account. So I just maybe put any account here. Maybe I can just put subscriptions use account. But this one is purchase, so there should be a purchase account, but I didn't create that one. So you can choose any expense account here or purchases account here. Then you put the amount, maybe 800. Okay, what is actually happening here? You can see we debit the expenses or purchases, we credit the trade payables. So meaning this particular payable, you are owing to that payable. You haven't paid yet because now you recorded the invoice. So you record. Okay, this one will pop up if you didn't do the cut file correctly. So I just use no. So that's all done. Now we pay bill. When you pay bill, you need to remember also from where you are paying from. So if it's the same account, then use Myob bank, pay from account, and this is the current balance of the bank. And what is the name of the supplier? So you use supplier, and then the check number, date, and how much is the amount. So for example, I'm also paying partially only, then 400. You can see the purchase status must be open, meaning you haven't paid yet. The date of the invoice that was key in the amount and the amount applied. You just press here, it will automatically come here 400. And so the out of balance, remember the out of balance must always be 0 because meaning you have key in there correctly here, and so you have key in here correctly. If not, it will pop out saying that you have done it wrongly. So this is record. Okay, let's go and see the ledger because only through ledger you will know whether you did this correctly or not. So we are going to go to subscription. So same thing. We're going to see the trade creditor now. So first thing, we actually debit the trade creditor when we receive invoice. Then we debit trade payables. We credited the expenses, right? Subscription. So this is it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, here first thing we actually recorded the invoice received. So debit expense, we credit the trade payables or creditor, meaning you are owing. Then when you are paying it off, since it's a partial payment, so you just put you debit the trade payable this company and you credit the bank 400. Okay, so this is it. So this is all I have with you all. So I just want to show you all what we have done so far. So the three things lah. Okay, these three things that is very important in bank: trade receivables, trade payables. So these three key things that is always very confusing for the students and also the working people. So if you want me to do more accounts or more transaction, please subscribe this channel. I am going to come up with another software and also going to show how that software actually works with the double entries. And also please comment on how should I improve or how do you like me to do the video. Is it like this is beneficial for you all or you can understand well, or you want me to do in a different way? I am always welcome for all your suggestions. So please comment below. Subscribe this channel, like and share as much as you can so that many people can benefit from this, because not many people have the resources for this one. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Have a great day and bye.